JFD, just fair and direct.
Okay, hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to JFD Traders Tea Time with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today's the 18th of November 2020. So yep, welcome everyone. Welcome to this Wednesday's afternoon quick session where we're going to have a look at the markets, a few of the charts, the usual stuff basically. But before we do that, as always, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, a few seconds for you to read the rest and we can continue. Okay, so now then, also just before we jump into the charts, quick mentioning of our JFD YouTube channel, to which you can always subscribe to in order not to miss any of our upcoming videos, and of course our JFD Bank website, and specifically our JFD research page, which we also update on a daily basis. So yep, feel free to visit us here on jfdbank.com and click on the research tab right there on the top. Now, quick update on what's happening here with the markets today. So basically, the German DAX is still hanging in there. Initially, it opened with a slight gap here to the downside, but today traveled back up. It's still currently trading inside or in the positive territory. But again, as I've mentioned to you guys this morning as well, that in order to aim for some higher levels, we need to see a break above this 13,300 level, because again, we might be seeing here a possible flag here, a bullish flag, but yeah, we need that confirmation break above the 13,300 level first. And in terms of the downside, lower levels could be met if we get a drop below that psychological 13,000 level. Now jumping into NASDAQ 100, and I haven't looked at this one for quite a while, but basically you can see that yesterday it closed slightly in the red. The index remained below this downside line, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, let me just double check this very quickly. I believe it's just somewhere around here basically. So now this downside line here is drawn from the high of the 2nd of September. Looking at the cash index right now and where the price is currently sitting at, it sits near the 11,957 territory. So basically below yesterday's close, slightly below that, and also below this downside line. So what I can say is that yes, in a way this increases the chances for this index to drift lower. However, I would prefer to see a drop below the 11,800 zone first before kind of examining further declines, because at the same time the price would be placed below the 21-day EMA here, shown as the yellow line here. So be very careful. In terms of the downside, I need to see a push above the 12,205 zone right here in order to consider some higher areas. Another index, a dollar index, so it rebounded from this key support zone I talked about this morning, this 92.24 level. It failed to overcome it, or actually I would say it failed to stay below it. It did fractionally overcome that hurdle, but as you can see, the bulls are really trying hard to keep this one afloat. For now, I'm gonna take a neutral stand, because again, I said to you guys previously this morning that in order to aim for some higher levels, I would like to see maybe at least a push above the 92.61 zone. But until it's kind of stuck here in between these two levels, the 92.61 and the 92.24 zone, yep, we'll keep an eye on this one and will remain slightly on the neutral side, I would say. Now, WTI oil is managed to push nicely here to the upside today. It overcame the highest point, the previous highest point of this week near the 42.08, but as you can see, the bears kind of pushed the price back below this. I mean, we did get an overshoot initially, but the bears have pushed this one back down. So let's see how this is going to play out, because for now everything is kind of still leaning a little bit more to the upside. If we get another push above this 42.08 territory, then yes, we'll aim for the next potential target here at 43.75, which is the highest point of August. So let's keep an eye on that one. Ripple, jumping into Ripple, and we can see that the crypto is still in correction mode today, so that's all fine. I mean, this is what I talked about this morning, that in a way it could continue correcting to the downside here, but as long as it stays above, somewhere above this 0.2760 territory, or this short-term upside support line taken from the low of the 3rd of November, yep, we will continue kind of, we will remain positive in a way, and continue targeting the upside later on. So like I said, yep, for now, keep your eyes on this. If in case it decides not to travel towards this hurdle, this 0.2760 or this upside line, and instead reverses earlier, then, well, keep your eyes on this barrier, the 0.3049, marked by the high of the 2nd of September, because if that gets broken, then, yep, in a way, there is a chance for this one to move further north. So let's keep an eye on this one. I will consider the downside only if we get, first of all, a break of this upside line and then a drop below the 0.26 territory. Now, AUD JPY, I haven't looked at this one for quite a while, but basically last time I talked about this one, I was talking about this upside support line, which, as you can see, got broken. But what I was saying as well, that if this upside line gets broken, still I would prefer to wait for a drop below the 75.48 zone right here in order to get a little bit more excited with the downside. But as you can see, we didn't get that. We're just still on the way there. Let's see if the pair actually manages to reach that area. If it cannot, and if it starts reversing earlier, then maybe we will see a nice potential bullish flag here. Now let me just remove a lot of drawings here just to show you what I'm talking about, or maybe you actually already see it yourselves, but actually let me just recycle this line. There we go. So basically this could be a potential bullish flag here, with a nice pole being this one, the 9th of November candle, and now we're seeing a bit of a corrective move lower, but the big question here is, will this actually be a potential bullish flag here? So in order to consider this idea, well, first of all, we would need to see a break of this downside line here, taken from the high of the 11th of November, and then also a push above the, well, ideally I would like to see a push above the highest point of the current highest point of November, near the 77.10 zone. But we could already start looking at some higher levels if we get a push above the current high of this week, near the 76.77 level. So keep your eyes on that one. In terms of the downside, still this 75.48 zone, that's what I'm looking here for, a break of which could open the door towards the lower areas. Now USD JPY, here the pair is still below this 104 zone. If you remember this morning in my Traders Espresso, I talked about this one, and I was saying that if the rate remains today, if this daily candle stays today below this 104 zone, then yes, we could consider maybe a bit of a decline here, a further move lower. However, if this daily candle by any chance stands, or should say moves back above this and stays below this 104 zone, then maybe we could see this little scenario here, as the arrow is showing here. We could see the scenario working out. So let's keep an eye on this one today, and let's see how this is going to play out. GBP USD, very interesting spot right now. We're near this key resistance area at 1.3287. We need to see a nice daily candle staying above this in order to aim for some higher levels. At the moment, I mean, today we did have an overshoot here, but as you can see, the bears kind of pushed this pair back below this highlighted area. So we're waiting for a nice clear break here in order to aim for some higher levels. But if that doesn't happen, and instead the rate drops back below the 1.3177 territory, somewhere around here, now this is where we will start looking at a potential larger correction to the downside. So keep your eyes on this one. And finally, Euro USD. So this morning I talked about this one and I was saying that yes, although it was showing good signs here, potential sign of moving higher, however, we need to see that nice daily candle staying above this 1.1880 territory in order to get a little bit more excited with the upside. For now, we're not getting that. We're just kind of floating here. Even in terms of the downside, we cannot really talk about the downside until we get at least a drop below the 1.1795 territory right here, because at the same time the rate would be placed below the 21-day EMA. So let's keep an eye on that one. But we're given that we're close to this upper bound of the range here on Euro USD, we need to see, in order to aim for some higher levels, we need to see that daily candle staying above this hurdle, and then yes, higher levels could be met. So for now, be very careful on that one. So let's see how all this is going to play out. For now, we'll take a bit of a neutral stand here. So guys, this was a quick update on a few instruments. So we still have a minute left before the US market opening bell. So yep, I hope you found it useful, guys. Thank you very much for watching and listening. If you want to catch my video tomorrow morning, as always, my Trader's Espresso, 7 o'clock GMT time. Thank you very much, and have a nice evening. Bye-bye.